At that time, Jesus went home with his disciples, and the crowd gathered again, so that they could not even eat. And when his family heard it, they went out to seize him, for they were saying, "He is out of his mind." The Gospel of the Lord. My dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, today we have a very strange Gospel passage, a very short one, Gospel of Mark, chapter 3, verses 20 to 21. And we hear in the Gospel of today that a crowd of people follows Jesus up to his own home, where his disciples have gathered for a meal. And Jesus is beside himself with compassion so that he doesn't even bother about his meal, and he's going out to meet these people. So much so that his family members and disciples have to restrain him, thinking that he is out of his mind. Here we see Christ's humanity really shine out. For us Christians, our Christianity is not so much proven in the chapel. Our Christianity is proven in the battle. We know from a great saying by St. Augustine that the Old Testament foreshadows the New, and the New is the fulfillment of the Old. In the first reading that we heard from the first book of Samuel, we hear about the death of Saul and Jonathan in battle. And we know from the readings that we have been hearing this week that Jonathan was a beloved friend of David. Jonathan was the son of Saul, and Saul was a sworn enemy of David. And David has shown great virtue and valor in his build-up to becoming king, while Saul showed tremendous malice towards him. David foreshadows the gospel teaching of Jesus to love our enemies when he mourns over the death of not just his good friend Jonathan, but also his sworn enemy Saul. What do we learn from this? In our workplace, in our homes, in our families, there are people who love us and are easy to get along with, and also there are people who are difficult, who make things very miserable for us. The challenge for us as Christians is to love not just those who are easy on us, but to love those who are difficult. And in this age where, as Pope Francis says, that we are living in a globalization of indifference and the throwaway culture, where some people are considered as dispensable, who are on the margins of society, we as Christians are called to show compassion like Christ, who was beside himself with compassion for suffering humanity. Perhaps some may think that we are crazy, but we are crazy in love with God and crazy in love with humanity. And that's why we reach out. It is part of our DNA as Christians. And that's why our Christianity is proven not in the chapel, but it's in the chapel where Christ strengthens us, fills us with his compassion, and sends us out on a mission of compassion. Let us pray that as we receive the Lord in spiritual communion today, that he may fill us with that mad compassion that he had in his heart.